Hello, Harmony Central, and welcome to the Winter NAMM 2011 show. I am joined by my colleague, Craig Anderton and Mats Nurmark, and we're going to tell you what we saw on the first day, Thursday, of the show. I spent most of my time in the drum booth and did some guitar stuff, and what we really got lucky with was catching celebrities. They were very accessible, even though the show was crowded. We talked to Greg Bissonette, we talked to Chad Smith, we talked to JoJo Mayer, we talked to Tony Royster Jr., we talked to guitar players David Grissom, and we actually caught the head of Gibson, Henry Juskowitz, and that was an interesting interview, so you can look for all those videos. As far as product stuff, we saw some neat things. Probably the biggest news at Roland was their new synthesizer, a new guitar synthesizer, the GR55, so look for that. Blue Microphones always has really nice stuff, really nice industrial design for either the pro or the enthusiast application, and they have a neat microphone called the Reactor. And then Seymour Duncan is celebrating its 35th anniversary with a 35 guitar, but as well some really cool pickups called the Zephyrs, and they're really high-tech. It's a glass bobbin, and it's threaded with silver winds, and the slugs they take a steel bar and they core out the middle and fill it with nickel. It's about as far as you can get in the analog domain. Seymour Duncan has gone there. Anyway, a lot of stuff to go through. I'm going to turn it over to my pal Craig, and then we're going to hear from Matt. So, Craig?
Thank you, John. Well, I must say that for a Thursday, it looked like a Saturday for any other year. I mean, this is like packed, and there are people who couldn't make it here because of the snow on the East Coast. So I can only imagine what it would have been like if they made it here. And as it turned out, this is the show. This is definitely the show. The star of the show is the iPad, as far as I can tell. Everything has an iPad in it. And the other thing is that there's a lot of innovation as opposed to version 2.1s of things. There's a lot of genuinely new things. It's pretty exciting. Let's start off, well, let's talk iPads for a second. One of the coolest things I saw was the Alesis Studio Dock. I don't know if you saw that, but you slip an iPad into it, and it's got I/O, like real I/O, real preamps, real outs, video out, MIDI, all that stuff. So you can take your Electribe or whatever and stick it in there and actually make it part of your studio instead of having a funny bunch of cables all connecting it together. They also, Akai, had a version of their synth station, which they had done last year with the iPhone, and now they have an iPad version that's like 49 keys. And to me, I saw that and I thought, education. You know, can you imagine like a Learn Piano program on your iPad and you're sitting there working on it, or programming a synthesizer with it or whatever. So I thought that was very good. Radical Technologies. They always come up with interesting little things. And last year was the Spectralis, which is a fantastic sounding synth module. This year it's the Accelerator, which is a live performance synthesizer, and it has an accelerometer in it, so you can actually pick it up and do things and change the sound. It's a very, Jimi Hendrix would have liked the synthesizer. You know, I don't know what happens if you set it on fire, but it really sounded good. The most important thing is it sounded good. The accelerometer thing was just kind of like a neat little trick, you know, but I love that. In Retroland, it warmed the cockles of my heart to see that the Ampeg B15 is back. I love that bass amp. I love the flip-top thing. That was a classic. I mean, that was the sound of Motown. That was James Jamerson. That was the bass amp of all time, and now it's back. They're only making 50 of them. They gave an award to Jess Oliver, who designed it, at a press conference this morning, and I mean, man, that is a classic. I don't get nostalgic over a whole lot of stuff because I like what's coming out now, but that is a most welcome return. Speaking of guitar things, PV, composite acoustic guitars. They're acoustic guitars made out of composite materials that will not warp, rust, freak out. You can take them from the cold into the hot. You can have them in the humidity and the desert and whatever. They were running water over it. And they had a travel guitar called the Cargo, really sweet, nice acoustic guitar. They also had the Session electric guitar, which is a $499 guitar, so it's above the cheapo guitar level, but not at the exalted expensive level, and it's a very nice playable guitar. So it's nice to see PV coming back with that. Keyboards, the Korg Kronos was something I saw last night at a private showing for the press, and it's kind of an overwhelming keyboard. It's got a huge number of features. What I see it as mostly is as a really really good live performance keyboard. It's got the kind of things you'd expect from a computer-based system, but you don't have to lose your gig when Apple sneezes or Microsoft decides to change their OS. You don't have to update plugins. You don't have to deal with all that stuff. You don't have to deal with latency and interfacing, and it's just. But they've packaged all that stuff into a keyboard. You can take out, you can play live. Very impressive. Multiple synth engines, sampling, workstation, all that. So there's life left in the workstation. And finally, for keyboards, Nord had the Stage 2, which is their new stage piano. So there's, already a lot going on. I'm not even mentioning a lot of the things that I saw. I mean, there was a ton of stuff, but you'll watch the videos, which are going to go up there tonight, and we'll have plenty of material there. So let us hand this over to our esteemed Swedish correspondent, Mats Nermark.
Thank you, Craig and John, and hello, Harmony Central, all the way from cold Sweden, which I left about 2 days ago, feels like, but it was actually yesterday. My day today was not filled with celebrities. Actually, I don't think I saw even one. The most celebrious person I've met is actually Craig Anderton here. If I get my iPhone going here. What I've seen today is mainly guitar stuff. The DAR amp is showing their Forza for the first time, and they are announcing a collaboration with the Swedish heavy metal guys Meshuggah and Clawfinger. Jocke Skog from Clawfinger was here, and he's funny and he's an excellent guitar player, and those amps are both beautiful and brutal depending on channel selection. What I personally been waiting for a long time was the 11 rack update. 17 new amps, the long-awaited stereo delay and stereo chorus, and it sounded wonderful. So yes, that's it. Another guitar-oriented software product was from French company Two Note. They are known for their attenuators, load boxes, and IRs, impulse responses, right. They come up with that in software as a plugin for your DAW. They even have a freeware version with just one amp, one speaker, and one microphone, but it is free, no iLock required, no pricing, no time limit. So I will definitely check that out. Two companies, I really don't know what they do, but they look cool, and their company names are awesome. It's Dwarfcraft Technologies and Audible Disease, and they will be covered in depth in our forthcoming Hall E Crazy Scientist sort of thing video that we will do one day here. TC Electronics debuted no less than 7 new guitar pedals, which are digital. 5 of them are digital, and you can download new sort of characters for the pedals through internet via built-in USB interfaces in a guitar pedal. Smooth, not expensive, no boutique prices whatsoever, and they sounded great. Finally, but not the least, is the Kemper profiling amp. What the crazy German scientists have come up with is nothing short of astounding in the way he profiles amps with just technology and noise. Believe me, that is strange noises coming out of there. And it's good. It's dynamic, it reacts, and it actually works. So that's all from me.
That's enough, and that's our report from day one at the NAMM show. We'll see you tomorrow. Check out the forums, check out our YouTube channel. Take care.